All right, guys. So let's talk about We Summon the Darkness, which came out I think last year in December, but I don't know if it came out in theaters here. But it said December 19th, 2019 of last year, and I didn't really know about this one until I think a couple months ago, whenever it started to be available for rent, and then physically was going to be released. And I was gonna buy it physically, but then I waited on just without thinking about it, and then I saw it was on Netflix for free, so I'm like, yes, I'm gonna finally watch it. So, I Summon the Darkness is a weird movie to talk about without spoiling it, and I don't know if I really should spoil it because I feel like the movie is more fun if you don't know, and it's really similar to Come to Daddy, which I watched recently as well, where they're like 30 minutes in, it establishes something else without spoiling it. They both establish something else happening in the movie, and it was hard to describe Become to Daddy as well. It's such a weird name to say, but it was so hard to describe that movie as well because I didn't want to spoil it. And this is the same case for this one. I think looking at this one, the basic plot that is on Wikipedia, or I mean on IMDb, that I could say is that these three girls get entangled with a satanic cult, and that's all I could say about it. That's the movie. I think is interesting because I I like Alexander Daddario. It's awesome to see her again, and I just wanted to see that mostly because of her. Of course, I would, but it's cool that it. That's definitely one of the reasons why I picked this one to watch over a lot of other horror recently. But I really thought that watching this one, it's weird because I think there are ideas that are fine, like it's executed fine, but honestly, I didn't really find this one that great. I think it was just whatever, like run of the mill satanic movie. Like there's not much special about it. I think that the acting's really good. I thought that Alexandria Daddario again sells it. I think she's awesome. I think the girl who plays Bev is awesome, and I think all the acting all around is good. It's all solid and fun, but it's not a movie that I'm gonna go back to like ever. I don't think. Like I think there's way more satanic movies that you can watch that are way more entertaining, at least in my opinion. Like The Devil's Candy is something that I'd watch immediately over this. Like this one is just kind of in a position where it's just a whatever demonic movie in my opinion, and people might think differently, and that's fine, that's awesome, but for me, I just didn't really find this one that entertaining. Like I think there are some entertaining moments. I think that the three girls have some good lines. I think that they have some funny lines. But when I look at the full picture of the movie, I'm like, is there really much that I'm going to remember from this? And I really don't. I honestly have kind of forgotten about it already, and I watched it recently. It's fine, but it's not anything that's super special to me. Like it's really just a run of the mill satanic movie. Like there's, I mean, they do a cool thing at 30 minutes in, which I won't spoil, but even then, I was like, this is still not making this movie very memorable. Even though it did have a cool like, even though you without spoiling it, even though you kind of expected the movie go that route, like whenever it happens, but it's weird. And also Johnny Knoxville is in this movie. That's funny to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. I know he was in that Jackass movie that wasn't Jackass, whatever it was. I thought it was really bad. Action Point, I think is what it's called. It was a couple years ago. But I haven't seen him in anything, honestly, in a long time besides that movie. And that movie I almost forgot about, besides the fact that he was in it. I guess the last thing besides that I saw was Bad Grandpa, which is, again, another Jackass related thing. So Johnny Knoxville hasn't been in anything that I've seen in a long time recently, very much. So it's cool to see him back, and he's fine in it. It's cool to see him back. Um, Really, just nothing else I could say about this one. It's serviceable, but it's just kind of forgettable. Like it's not anything great besides a few funny moments with like Alexander Daddario and the girls. But besides that, it's just typical like cult movie. There's not anything else that really is that fun about it. It's all right. It's whatever. If you love it, that's awesome. I'm glad you do. I just thought it was pretty whatever. So, pretty quick review. Not much else to say about this one, but I mean that's fine. Like I said, like it if you want to. I think it's just okay. Um, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching.